Om Shanti. Those who are sitting at the back may please come forward. It will be easier to communicate when you are a little closer. So this morning we'll be sharing about the stage of a detached observer and also the companionhood of Baba, how it proves as the key to success in your life. We heard last Murli of sweetest Baab Dada, in which the merciful Father was very much concerned about the sorrows which have spread around in the world. He hears the cries of the souls who are suffering. And He also wants us to listen to those cries so that we can give our share of happiness to those souls who are suffering, to relieve them from their sufferings. And He could hear it better than us because He is always a detached observer. We are a part of the system. We even see people suffering around us. We see them crying, but we still have a very limited exposure to their sufferings and cries, while He has the full exposure because He is in Paramdham, and from there He can see it as a detached observer, the sufferings of the whole world. And so He feels more concerned. If there is a problem in our life and we need to solve it, when you want to study it, you have to first build up a stage of a detached observer. If you are a part of the problem, you cannot find a solution to it. Like a supervisor or a manager or a commander of the army, he is able to solve the problems of the people because he is outside and sees the problems as a detached observer. And that's how he is able to find out some solution. And that too if we have God as our companion. How many of you feel that Baba is always our companion? He's always standing by with us. Good. If the God is by our side and He is our companion, and He even asks us to maintain a combined stage with Him, then naturally we are able to solve any type of complicated issues. That's the type of role given to this soul in the yajna. Whenever there's an acute problem, a complicated situation anywhere around, at any center or any zone that Rajijis used to send me to find out a solution, and being a detached observer, I could study the issue better than those who were involved in it. And then having that feeling of benefaction for all, for both the parties. Baba used to touch the solution and the problems could be solved. In Hindi there are very dynamic words. Sakshi, Sathi, Sthiti. Sthiti means stage, Sakshi means detached, Sathi means a companion. So to sustain the stage of a detached observer, the key also lies with being with Baba at all the times. Because as is your companion, so you are. They say the character of a person is seen by the company he keeps. Many times the elders, when they assess a person, they tell with full confidence that, well, child, I don't need to know what is your character. I can assess it from your friends with whom you are mingling around. So it is the company which has the main effect. Dadi Janki always lays very great emphasis on sang. Sang means company. Jaisa sang, vaisa rang. As is your company, so are the colors of your character. And Baba has descended to give us the best type of satsang, he calls it. Satya means truth. God is truth, we say. And satsang means the company of the truthful. In this country, Bharat, satsang is considered as one of the basic qualities of all the bhaktas. And it is advised that everybody must sit in satsang for some time. In Hindu religion and Sikh religion, it's great emphasis laid on that you must do satsang every day to sustain your higher stages. And as I observe the development of the yajna during last 40 years, ever since I have been involved with this, it gives you great joy when you see the organization's expansion during last 40 years, especially during the time that the Prakash Mani took over. And the way she played the leadership role, which has been now handed over to Dadi Janki ji. In the words of the British Prime Minister during Second World War, he said, courage guarantees all. Courage is a quality which guarantees all. And he kept up the courage against the Germans, and finally the victory was theirs. At the same time, there's another quality which is called contentment. And it is said contentment is the queen of all the qualities. The queen plays a motherly role for the whole kingdom. And in the golden age, it is said that Raj Raja ka, Hukum Maharani ka. The kingdom belongs to the king, but the order is of the empress and not of the emperor. Emperor is only the king and he has his kingdom, but the rule which goes around, the orders which go around are of the empress. Raj Raja ka, Hukum Maharani ka. And the tradition starts from here, because we are led in this organization as a rule by the wise ladies. It is a ladies-led organization. Compulsorily, this organization will be led by ladies for all the times to come. Starting from day one, when Baba established the organization, he made a trust of 8 sisters only. There was no brother. There were just 8 sisters who were made the trustees when Baba handed over all his movable, immovable property. And the institution Prajapita Brahma Kumari Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya was founded. The short name of the organization is Brahma Kumaris. Though we are all brothers and sisters taking benefit of this organization, it is a family institution, but the name given was Brahma Kumaris because Baba wanted to re-establish the culture of the golden age, in which we take the name of Shri Radhe first and Shri Krishna later, Shri Sita first and Shri Rama later. Even if you go to Mathura today. Mathura is a town near Delhi, located on the Jamuna river between Delhi and Agra. Agra is the city of Taj, and Delhi is the capital town. In between is Mathura. All the way it is on Jamuna river, and we know that the golden age will be on the banks of Jamuna river. And in that town, which is said to be the town of the birth of Lord Krishna as per our scriptures, even today, this very old type of a city, and the main source of communication, main source of traveling in the township, because it's a very town with a lot of thick population, small streets. So the main vehicle which is used for communication is a tricycle. Have you anybody seen tricycles in India? 3 wheels, cycle with 3 wheels, a pedestrian has to, pedal it. And that's the type of vehicle which is used. And then he has got a small ring on his handle. And when he's crossing through the traffic, he has to play that bell. But he doesn't use any words like hat jao, go away, give me way. He never uses those words. You know what does he speak? When he's driving through the tricycle with passengers on his back and he has to find his way through a very thick traffic, you know what does he speak? Anyone? Can imagine? It's a land of Radhe Krishna. What will he speak? Om Shanti. Good. Our center is close to the place of birth of Krishna there. Sachan Bhai, you must have seen Mathura. What does he speak? Have you seen the Rakshavalas in Mathura? He says, Radhe, 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 and everybody makes way for him. Can you imagine? Nowhere in India or anywhere in this earth, you will find that Krishna culture prevailing so much till today. But it is not Krishna culture, it is Radhe culture. And as he speaks, with devotion, otherwise he has to shout on the people to make his way out. He doesn't need to shout. He just, in a, very nice mood of devotion to the goddess Radhe, he just says, Radhe, 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 and people make way for him. No accidents. Saves you from any accident. That's the type of culture we are going to move in. So Baba has made Dadi Prakashmani, Dadi Janki, Dadi Gulzar as our chiefs. And we all have taken the sustenance of Dadi Janki for so many years, so we all know her qualities. Leading such a brave life, fighting the nature all the time. Not really fighting with it, but having mercy on the nature, and the nature has mercy on her body in return. Every day 4 o'clock, she is here for personally conducting meditation at the age of 94. She is 1 year elder than Brahma Baba. The only one who has broken Baba's record and maintaining such a nice stage. Last year there was a program in Dubai, rather this year beginning, January. They wanted to take Dadi Gulzar for 7 days. All the flights were booked. And on the day of departure, Dadi Gulzar's body became sick. She had severe diarrhea. There was no chance of movement. What would have happened? Dadi Janki comes up. Don't worry, Gulzar, I'll go in your place. 7 days traveling through deserts, attending all the programs. Dadi Janki did it so well. I'm talking of 2010, January. So this is the spirit and zeal she is maintaining. Because she is known as the Delta lady on this earth. We know it. Who can be a Delta person? What is the basic quality of a person who can display Delta stage with eyes open? Think about it. If you are asked that we are going to take your EEG chart and you should display delta waves, what would you like to maintain in your mind? It has to be absolutely quiet. Then only delta waves come. The machine is very sensitive. It immediately measures the frequencies. What should be the stage? Yes, anybody from this side? What should be the stage of a person who has to display delta waves? Bodiless, stable, detached. If you are not detached, you cannot bring down the speed of the brain waves. What happens in deep sleep? You are totally detached. In deep sleep, your body is not sensitive to the outside temperatures, nor the sounds. Sounds and temperatures, you have to be totally detached. Then only delta waves are generated in deep sleep. Every night, every one of us generates delta waves for a short period of time. That's the time we are totally detached. They show that the consciousness has moved down, deep down to your heart, as if there is no consciousness here at all. So a detached observer stage can only give you delta waves. Simple. Biggest achievement of detached observer stage is you can display delta waves even if you are awake with your eyes open. And if you have Baba always with you, all the qualities of Baba remain with you. And the best quality of Baba is that he is blissful. There are opposite words for every other word. If I say suffering, you will say happiness is the opposite word. If I say day, night is the opposite word. Anand or bliss is a word which has no opposite word in it. Can anybody say that? Day and night, happiness and sorrow, like that, for bliss. Neither in English dictionary nor in Hindi dictionary there is any word against it. So that means a stage of bliss is the highest stage which cannot be distracted by anything on this earth. And that's what Baba always is. When we talk about God, we say Anand ka sagar or data hai. The ocean of bliss, and always bestows bliss on us. If you are in a stage of peace as well as bliss, then only you can generate a rhythm in your brain. Dadi Janki is the only person who displays delta rhythm. Even Yuri could display delta waves, but not a delta rhythm. The man, who can do like this and the seeds start growing. The man who gives a drishti and the stainless steel key starts bending. He also cannot produce delta rhythm. What Dadi Janki can do. So a perfect example, delta waves are slow waves, like these waves, alpha, beta, delta waves are the waves at which your left and right occipitals move. So this is a left occipital, this is a right occipital, and they keep moving at some frequency. When we are normally wide awake and we are doing some work, we generally display beta waves, which are high-speed waves. Then alpha, slightly slower, 8 to 12 hertz. Then theta, 4 to 8 hertz, and delta is 0.5 to 3.5 hertz. So slow frequencies. But always both the occipitals vibrate at different frequencies. If this is 9 hertz, this will be 10 hertz. Anytime you measure it, you will find a difference. Rhythm means when both the occipitals are vibrating at the same frequency. So it is not only to be 2 cycles per second, means less than 3.5. Any frequency is called delta wave. But delta rhythm means both the occipitals are vibrating at the same frequency. And when you can display delta rhythm, you get the power of telepathic transformation. You can transform the stage of a person telepathically. Telepathic communication is not a very big deal. Reading others' thoughts, that can be learnt by training. Even in the armed forces we teach that. But telepathic transformation, no one can teach. There is no technique available on this earth to teach you the art of telepathic transformation except Baba's technique of Raj Yoga meditation. And that too, if we can sustain for a long time a stage of peace and bliss together, then both the occipitals will vibrate at the same frequency. If a person suffering with mental tension or stress, made to sit in this gathering, and all of us can at least generate an alpha rhythm or alpha waves. The moment you start doing introvert thinking, you start generating alpha waves. The moment you become soul conscious, alpha waves start building up. The frequencies come down from beta to alpha waves. I have gone through EEG tests many a times, and I have created many situations in my mind, and I have seen the response, what happens to the meter, which is measuring the frequencies. So I can tell with experience. And if we have a group of people meditating, and we are all in a good stage, peaceful and blissful stage, we make a person who is mentally sick or who is under depression or under tension sit just within the group, he starts healing. So much is the effect of this rhythm state of mind. Baba always used to have those frequencies, and Baba's Tower of Peace, where you will be going this evening to attend Dadi's class. You are all going to Pandabhavan this evening, I suppose. And there have been people, there are some scientists who can measure the vibrations these days, frequencies. Low frequencies measurement is done with special tools. One of the scientists came and was sitting at Tower of Peace. He was just standing in that area, and he suddenly started feeling something. And he took out his meter and he was displaying it. And he says, this area within 6 feet of this Tower of Peace is an area of healing vibrations. Automatically healing vibrations are generated by this area because the topmost saint on this earth, Brahma Baba, he was cremated at that place. And it has built up such vibrations that you have a healing effect if you are sitting within 6 feet of Tower of Peace. So any of you at any time, or any of your friends sometimes, if he's feeling uneasy, just go and sit close to the Tower of Peace. And remember Baba, you'll start getting refreshed in a very short period of time. Because he was always a detached observer. And he always used to have companionhood of Baba, Shiv Baba. How many of you have climbed to the Baba's rock? Good. Here, translation? Okay. What is our speed when we climb Baba's rock? Slow, medium, fast? How was it? Slow. When you are climbing a rock steep like this, it has to be slow. Can you imagine the real situation when Brahma Baba used to take children above that rock? You know, Brahma Baba came to this place at what age? At what age Brahma Baba came to this Mount Abu? Mid-70s. He was 60 in 1936. Naturally, if he came to Mount Abu in 1950, he has to be in mid-70s. And around 60, 1960, when we had settled down and we started making centers and we had a lot of students developing and all that, his age was 80. That 80 years old man, 80 plus, not 80, but 80 plus. That 80 years plus 80, at the age of 88, Baba used to take children to Baba's rock. And he used to walk the fastest of all. An 80 years old man used to walk faster than 18 years old children. How do you like it? 80 years old person walking faster than 18 years old children. He really used to walk fast and then turn around and see, the children are feeling tired, chasing him. And then he'll say, "Avache, avache, avache." And children used to feel surprised. And they will ask, "Baba, how is it? You are 80 years old man, and you are walking faster than us, and you are so fresh, you are saying, avache, avache, avache." And then Baba used to say, "Well, it's natural. I have to walk faster than you." And then people used to ask, "Why?" He says, "Because you have a single engine. And Baba has a double engine." So if you are having sati, means combined stage, or God as your companion, this is how it is seen. Always blissful and always powerful. So these are the benefits, and these are the gifts given to us. The God's offer is always there with us. I am always with you. What it needs is a thought of attention by you children. The song which was going on, were we listening? The song also said that part. That his offer is always there. What it needs is attention. So Baba is always with us if we are just having this attention that he is with me. And that's what is yoga, as simple as that. God is only a thought away from us. What it needs is to generate another thought, a samarth sankalp, to keep him with you all the time. And then you can do the same thing. I always speak what I experience in life. Baba's experiences I have not seen, but I have done it. If any one of you wants, he can take you to Baba's rock and then show you. It's very easy. As it is, I am 60 plus, so a little senior by age. And not that I am a regular travel to Baba's rock, so it's a practice. I go very occasionally, once in a few months' time, sometimes after a year or two. But as we walk in Baba's remembrance, you can increase your speed. Simply becoming body conscious and seeing those steep rocks, you feel, oh, it's so difficult. I take many guesses and I observe it all the time. Oh, Ashok bhai, it's so difficult. Climb is so steep, please go slow. But I just remember Baba, keep smiling, keep moving forward. And then I stop and then look back and come, bachao, aao, bachao. I used to take school children. There are youth camps and I take a group of youth to the Baba's rock. And I could move faster because of that combined stage, which is so easy to bring out because it is only a thought. It's required to come to that stage. Anytime I tell you, okay, let's remember Baba, and everybody just, we go up there. It's so easy and so comfortable for us. But we need to do it when we are in the field. I refer to a brother, he's an Air Force officer. I have seen some army officers who are Baba's children and who have displayed extraordinary courage during war conditions by keeping company of Baba. A similar looking person who is commanding officer of a battalion of Sikh ally, we call it. Sikhs are very brave soldiers. And he is commanding a battalion of Sikhs. During 1999, there was some operation. In Kargil, there was an attack by the Pakistani army and the terrorists in J&K. Very high altitude hills and very dangerous hills. And they were at a higher location, we were on a lower side, and they were on the other side of the hill, so they were at advantageous places. So the only way to destroy the enemy when he's across the hill and at a advantageous places that you have to send some people. There has to be some cliff or a high hill. He has to climb up, stand on top, and there are, say, if Indian troops on this side of the border, and there's a hill, on the other side there are Pakistani troops. So these guys have to fire on those people, but nobody can look at each other because there's a hill on top. So we have to put an air observer on top who has to guide the fire. And to become an air observer, you have to be on top of a hill, which is seen by both the sides. So he was given the task of climbing up, reach on top, become an air observer so that he could guide the fire from lower side to the other side to vanish the enemy purse. And it's one of the most difficult jobs to do. He had recently come into Baba's knowledge. He was a young officer of the army, and he had two specialists with him who were very good rock climbers. He was not a professional climber. The others were professional climbers. So he went with those people. They reached 3/4 of the height, and the enemy started firing. Now suppose you are climbing a hill like this, and if you are here, and the fire comes from the other side, if the fire is on this side and this side, both the sides, it means you have been seen by the enemy. If he is firing just like that, he will be firing on one side. But if he fires once like this, second time like this, it means that person has seen you climbing. Next fire has to come onto you, and you have to die. There is no choice. So he was climbing, 3 people were climbing, and the fire started. A few blasts on this side, and then a few bombs blasting on the other side. You know what people do in that time? Those, a group of 2-3 people, they sit calm. Calmness they sit in, they take out their diaries, and they write down the last message to their families. Because that's the only time available. A few minutes, and the next fire, you're going to be blasted. So those 2 boys told him, "Sir, we can't climb anymore, sir, let's go down. Because the enemy has seen us, we are being observed, so he's firing on both sides, next couple of minutes we are finished." He says, "I am so sorry, young people. You may be the experts on climbing, but you have a scare. I am a spiritual man. I don't have any scare of death." And he was narrating his experience. "You know, Ashok Bhai, what happened? When I was climbing, the fire was on both the sides. I came to my seed stage and I was seeing Baba. And I was thinking, if the next fire comes and hits this body, I'm going to go to Parandham to meet my dad, no problems." It's very easy to say, but when it's really happening, it's not so easy to do it. He really did it. And those guys were trembling because they cannot go back. When the commanding officer is moving up, they have to move. There's no choice with them. And there was a next fire which came and blasted those 2 guys. One guy died, another one was injured. And he said, "Sir, I told you, we are going to die. You see, the 3rd man is gone and I am injured." He says, "Okay, you be with him. I will send a message, somebody will come and pick up you and the dead body. But I am going to continue." So much courageous one can be at the time of need if he is a meditator. He says, "I am a soul, I cannot die. I was in that consciousness. This body can die. I will leave this body on duty, no problems." And then since those 2 movements had stopped, the enemy thought that those people are gone, because he cannot see whether 2 people are there or 3 people at a distant, and he's just firing, helter-skelter. And this guy was left out, he reached the top, and he did his job. Means he opened the air observer's post, and the purpose of going was achieved. So much is the help of God in your field life if you really invoke Him. So many times you will observe in your life also. We don't have to be a physical warrior to observe that. There are many situations which come in our life when if we keep Baba as our companion, we are in a combined stage, we are able to pass through those difficult situations. So that is called Sathi stage. And Sakshi is to observe the whole thing as a detached observer. Mind it, events are always neutral. In management terminology, we define all events are neutral. It is my reaction to it which gives it life. Living in our home, we observe a death in the neighborhood. We hardly have any depression or tension. A same event, another person dying in your own house, you have all the stresses. Event is a death, but it's my reaction which has added life into it. So if one learns the art of detached observer and he keeps Sathi, Baba, as the companion, he achieves all successes in life. I give you a small event of my life. It was 1993, Parliament of World Religions, going to happen in Chicago. And Dadi Prakashmani was going to preside in that function, and I was invited to join her and attend that function. I wanted to see that place because I have been an appreciator of Swami Vivekananda, who went there in 1893, and it was the 100th year of that which was celebrated as the first Parliament of World Religions held in 1993 in Chicago. And as the program was being decided, one of the sisters, the sister in charge of Tampa, Sister Dorothy, she came to me and she says, Ashok Bhai, I believe you are coming to US. I said, yes, I am coming to your country. I would like you to give me a gift when you come there. And as a detached observer, I was slightly surprised. Normally, when Madhuban Nivasis go to some place, our normal role is we carry a small bag of our clothes and a bag hanging on our shoulder which is full of tolis. And we go to the center, conduct class, distribute tolis, and when we come back, the bag is full of gifts. Every sister in charge gives you a gift and we bring it back to Madhuban, and of course hand over to Muniman, who is in charge of the gifts. So I was looking at her. Normally when a Madhuban Nivasi goes out, he gets gifts. While here, the opposite side, the sister in charge is asking that you have to give me a gift. So I looked at her, smiled, and said, yes, what do you want? No, you first promised that you will give me a gift. So we, Madhuban Nivasis, have been given this training, for everything you have to say yes, sir. Like army, the subordinate has always to say yes, sir, to the boss. Here, we are all Baba's servers, Sevadharis, so we always say yes. So I just raised my hand. Okay, granted. The boon is granted. Tell me, what do you want from India? Oh, no, I don't want any physical thing from you. I know you are a Madhuban Nivasi. I said, then what do you need? Well, you might remember that you had a friend called John in Tampa. Now, I did not know where is Tampa and all that, but I knew one brother John who used to come from United States, and so I said, yes, I know one John. A tall brother, middle-aged. She said, yes. That brother has been eaten away by Maya. Means he doesn't come to the center anymore. And I want my brother John back. Is that clear? So I looked at her. Now, first of all, till that time, something like, in India, US is a very far off place. And we say it is in Patal Lok, like this is the earth which is round. If India is here, US is here. Right opposite, 12 hours gap. So I said, okay, that country is in Patal Lok, below the earth. And somebody has been eaten away by Maya. And this teacher wants me to bring him back. Again, I looked up to Baba. Since I had already raised hand, I said, okay, boon granted. And then she went very happily, smilingly, and then I went into Baba's room. I was staying in Pandabhavan those days. I said, come on, Baba, how can it be done? She's a teacher. And if she has lost a student, how can I help her to bring him back? And then Baba looks at me smilingly. He says, listen, child, you are a Madhuban Nivasi. This teacher has expectations from Madhuban because it is the land of God. And since you live here, she looked upon you and told you this. But her expectation is from Madhuban. Then I spoke back to Baba. I said, Baba, I know this is Madhuban, but Madhuban's importance is because of you. And so, it's your problem to give him the student back. And Baba smiles. You say, yes, of course, you are becoming little naughty. Yeah, I know that it's my job to fulfill the desires of the children. But you have to play your role. And I will do my job. Because we are companions. So I said, what do you want me to do? Every time in Amrit Vela, after Amrit Vela, for 5 minutes at the end, normally when we do Amrit Vela, we go to subtle regions. We see all the continents and souls of the whole world in front, and we emanate vibrations of peace and love to them. And I always see them feeling very happy, their faces shining bright. That's how I generally do Amrit Vela. But not giving specific vibrations to any particular soul. We always do as a group service sort of thing. And then Baba says at the end of the Amrit Vela, for 5 minutes you should invoke that soul and give him vibrations that he should come back. Now, I do not know the layout of America. I don't know where is Tampa, but I knew there's a big country like America on the opposite side of the earth. So I used Amrit Vela, I go up to subtle regions, Baba with me, and giving vibrations to the souls of the 5 continents. Then I'll specifically invoke America, and somewhere in America, the face of John is appearing. And then, instead of saying, John, come back, I tell Baba, John should come back. Baba, John should come back. Still, I had a little element of doubt in my mind whether the vibrations are really reaching. And then I thought, let me put some double efforts for it. Evening, I started going to Baba's rock. I thought if I go to higher place, I'll be closer to subtle regions and vibrations can go deeper. I'm telling the basic truth, simple-hearted. Every day I'll go Amrit Vela 4:45 and evening 5 o'clock, I am at Baba's rock. And then again seeing Baba in the subtle regions and again telling him, Baba, John is there down below, please let him come back. And then 2 weeks passed like this, and after 2 weeks was the time of light. And I was going in as an advance party to Dadiji, so I went alone. And after landing at New York, I asked the teacher, Divine Sister Mohini Ben, I've been invited by Dorothy Ben to Tampa. I want to go to Tampa. She said, how about your flight? I said, my ticket is already there with me. I had already booked New York, Tampa, and back. She says, done. So, went to Tampa. And as I landed and came out of the airport, I saw Brother John waiting outside. The story doesn't end here. So John was, oh, Brother Ashok, and I said, oh, John, so nice to meet you. We embraced each other and we were very happy. And then he took me in his vehicle and he says, oh, I'm so happy, Ashok, you have come to visit America. And I said, how come you are here? Dorothy Ben, she told me that your friend Ashok is coming, go and receive him. So I thought, okay, I'll come and receive you. Nothing else. And so we sat in his vehicle, car, and then we were moving towards the center. And on the way I told him, so John, how's everything? He says, well, Brother Ashok, I must share some experiences with you. Maya is very strange in America. So I said, well, for me, the whole America is strange. I don't know how is the Maya here. I don't know whether you know it or not, for the last 2 years, I have been eaten away by Maya. I have never been to center for the last 2 years. I said, then how did you come to pick me up? She gave me a phone call, so I'm coming from my home to pick you up. I have not yet gone to the center. Okay. Anything else? He says, I said, anything else? He says, but stranger has been the experience of last 2 weeks. See, now you see how Baba works. I says, what? Yes, stranger has been the experience of last 2 weeks than Maya's experience. I said, what has been happening? He says, every day at Amrit Vela, Baba comes and shakes my bed. I said, then? And then what happens? Then naturally I have to wake up. And then he sees me and he says, child, come back. child, come back. And once again I come back from the job at about 5 o'clock in the evening, and again he enters into my room. And again he says, child, come back, child, come back. Imagine what a joy, super sense of joy I would have felt in my mind. How your companion, your friend, the God Himself works for you. Now you can clap. Now you can clap if you liked. Many such events happen in the lives of people, yogis. Not exactly the same, but similar things happen in our life. And we physically see that God is working for us. This is the time of the confluence age when God is always by your side to help you out. The only thing what you need is to keep that attention that yes, He is with your side. And you can make Him do what you want Him to do. And He is ever ready to do it for you. We will never get this sort of opportunities any time in the whole kalpa of 5,000 years. Once he goes back, as he has already given a warning, in the last murli, do you know he gave a warning? Okay, to remind you, I'll give you that, a story, a small story. But when I'm talking of stories, they are only real lifetime events. There was a 3.5 years old child, Australian girl, came with her parents to came to Madhuban to meet Baba. Of course, the parents were knowing what is Baba and all that. Whatever little bit they could put information into her mind was also there. And they were sitting in the second row, like first sofas and then chairs in Om Shanti Bhavan. And I was on translation duty. I used to give headphones. These days, the headphones are kept in advance. Earlier, we used to give headphones and you had to be always alert because the systems were not so good. They were of old design and I had to be always alert to watch what people are doing. So I was observing that small little baby. She was also observing very deeply Dadi Gulsar. And as she went in trance, Baba's role played. And after some time, I found that girl sleeping. Because Baba used to sit in Dadi Gulzar's body whole night. Parents were awake, the child was sleeping. And around Amrit Vela, when Baba was to take leave, they woke her up, so she was sitting again, awake. And the whole event was over, and then I was feeling what this small little child would have experienced. So we called her. And we asked, what happened? What did you see last night? You know what she replies? Well, brother, I saw Dadi Gulzar going up. She went up. She didn't say Dadi Gulzar. I saw that, old lady, she went up. And then what happened? And then he came down. I said, anything else you saw? Morning, when I woke up and I was again observing, I saw he went up and she came down. Can you imagine? A 3-year-old child is able to conceive so clearly. Dadi going up, Baba coming down, Baba going up, Dadi coming down. Ana Jana. We'll have traffic control, 3 minutes.
सतयुग में तुमको आना है, शिव पिता को अब याद करो। ये संगम का स्वर्णिम युग है, शिव खड़ा आगे। अब हम सबका शिव पिता ने बतलाया है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। पांडव शिव शक्ति सेना की रणभेरी अब फिर बजती है। शिव बाबा के ज्ञान से फिर माया को मार भगाना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने कर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है। सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है। धाम में तुम्हें जाना है।
So we all went through the experience of going up and coming down. And even the song was saying that we all have to go to Mukti Dham, Param Dham, and then we have to come down to Golden Age. So seeing as an detached observer how things work, see that officer, seeing his body as a detached observer, if the enemy attacks, this body will die. I am an eternal soul, I will not. I am going to meet my dad. And he achieved the most desired achievement. The whole story was turned around. Pakistani's attack was reversed and we regained all our force. See, a detached observer is Baba's job. My role was just to tell him every day. And then, things happening to John. Seeing his stage as detached observers, as the one who is eaten away by Maya, and as the one who is remembered by God every day. Incidentally, he is back to this normal Brahmin life and he is leading a dedicated life in the Peace Village with Sister Dorothy these days, John Bhai. See this child, you observe her as a detached observer and she is also watching the whole scene as a detached observer. She doesn't have an intellect developed who can understand morally or anything. But she can see going up, coming down, ana jana. And I started that with the statement which was given by Baba in his Murli last before I started the story of this child. Baba spoke something on ana jana. Kab tak? Does anybody remember? Till what date will this ana jana, coming and going, will continue? And he used the word achanak. Suddenly, this role will stop. A very shocking statement. To me, it was a shocking statement. The whole Murli was blissful, except this statement. Because when we listen that suddenly this role will stop, then we don't know what will happen. We definitely want Baba to be with us all the time. But we have to keep in our mind as a detached observer that this will not continue for long. Things are changing very fast. Sister Jayanti was giving the news that there are some islands near Fiji, near Australia, in the Pacific, who are experiencing the raise in the sea level because of greenhouse effect. global warming. And the representatives in the Copenhagen from those island states, their countries, small countries, and they were saying within maximum 2 to 3 years, our country will no more exist. Tell us, give us some solution. In the Copenhagen conference that was being discussed. Even when Baba says that as being merciful souls, as being the ancestral souls, you have to give vibrations of happiness to the suffering people. At the same time he says, ultimately it has to come to its extreme and then end. Atika Ant. Hindi has very lovely rhymic words. I wish if you had known this language you would have enjoyed Baba's Murli much better. Ati and Ant. Extreme and end. So the sufferings will come to its extreme. For those countries, small little island countries near Fiji, they will not live after 2 years. At least their country will not live. They may live, they can change to a different country to survive, but their country will not live. That's the rate of rise of sea level happening in that area. And what do we feel? What do we see for the future? What do we see for the future happening? In near future, what is going to happen? What will happen? Destruction. What else? Everybody knows some destruction is going to take place, but what next? Golden age. So the BKs are not scared of the destruction because we are going to land up into golden age. Even if we have to go back, we have to go back to our sweet silence home, that's it. That's also my home where I'm going to go. And then come down straight into my golden aged world. So we have no scare of death. Some of us may see the transit also. And it is not going to be troublesome for us. The transit for those who have to pass through it will be very smooth. But we have to be detached observers. And we have to keep Baba as our companion at all times. So either of the two can happen. We may have a transit because there is a part of golden age, there is a part of diamond age which has 3/4 from Kali Yuga and 1/4 from Satyug. If Sangam is 100 years, 75 years come from Kali Yuga and 25 years come from Satyug. The cycle is not 5,100 years, the cycle is 5,000 years. And each Yuga is only 1250 years. So the Sangam doesn't have a separate age. It has to be part of the Iron Age and a part of Golden Age. So some of us will have a transit, which will be very soothing. And some of us will have to go back home, which can also be a pleasing exercise for us if we are detached observers. So, to have a happy and joyful life, to achieve success in all steps of life, these 2 points are very important. To sustain a detached observer stage and to keep the company of the Father. Which is easier? Company of the Father is easier. Like Baba says, finish all your waste thoughts and have only powerful thoughts. Which is easier? Which is easier? One man should not only give all the answers. Let others also give. Is it easier to create powerful thoughts or it is easier to finish waste thoughts? Simple. Creation of powerful thoughts is very easy because the Almighty Baba is with us. So let's do what we can do. Let's not bother about what we cannot control. Destruction we can't control. But keeping Baba's company is in our hand. So the destruction will be a passing phase for us. If we know the art of creating positive, purposeful and powerful thoughts, positive, purposeful and powerful thoughts, the waste thoughts will automatically vanish. We need not struggle to finish our waste thoughts. We only need to create positive, powerful and purposeful thoughts. And that's what meditation is. This is one of the definitions of Raj Yoga meditation. Raj Yoga meditation is an art of creating positive, powerful and purposeful thoughts. Anything which is related to soul consciousness is always positive. Anything which is related to the Almighty is always powerful. So when we generate thoughts of soul consciousness, which my real entity is, I am thinking in a positive manner. And if I am communicating with Baba, I am powerful. And when I communicate with him, what is the next thing we do? I receive, and then what do I do with it? The energy which I am receiving, I transmit, I emanate it for the benefaction of others. Like Dadi says, Yad and Yog. Yad is to remember him, to connect up with Baba. And Yog is to emanate what I am receiving from Baba for the benefaction of the whole world, for the transformation of the world. And that's our purpose of life. When I receive from Baba, I transform myself. And when I emanate to others, I transform the nature around me, the people around me, the world around me. My purpose is to transform this world, to help God in achieving the target of transformation of this world from the Iron Age to the Golden Age. The purpose is to generate happiness in the lives of suffering people. When you emanate the vibrations of peace and bliss received from Baba onto human beings who are suffering, they get relieved from their sufferings and they start receiving a hope for life. Their faces start shining bright because your face is shining bright. And you are in communication with the bestower of peace and happiness. So creating positive, powerful means linking with him, purposeful means emanating for the benefit of the others. And very simple words of Dadi's, Yad and Yog. Remember and emanate those positive vibrations for the benefaction of others. Can we all do that? We all do it as it is. So what we need to do is we have to do it more attentively, more frequently, so that we are in constant remembrance. So keeping the company of Baba is the easiest thing to do. If you keep साथी को साथ रखें तो साक्षी automatic हो जाते हैं. So becoming a detached observer becomes automatically easy in case I keep the company of my Father, which is the easiest and the best thing to do. We only need to bring consistency in that. It is an effort. To meditate is an effort. It is a subtle work, subtle task given to us. Generating positive thoughts is an effort which we have to make all the time. And the rest, everything happens automatically. So the whole solution lies, the problem has contained solution also into it. We want to remove suffering from the lives of others, but what I need to do is, I first remove it from my life. And I do it by remembering Baba, and my sufferings are gone. I emanate those positive vibrations which have transformed me for the benefaction of others, and their suffering is also gone. And detached stage observer is always there with you as long as you are with Baba, because he is always in a detached observer stage. That's why he stays in Paramdham and is performing all the activities from there. Just comes for a short while to show you what he is into the Adi Gulzar's body twice a month, thrice a month, and that's it. And he's able to do his job. But we need to do it every day. So with this hope that all of you will become constant yogis, Samarthatma. Samarth means who is powerful, who is capable of keeping his company. And so you all will be free from all the waste thoughts. If we have Samarth stage, then Vyarth is automatically away. So we need to only put a little extra effort. In Madhuban, I know it's very easy, but still the Madhuban Nivasis have a lot of duties to perform. And we also have made groups to build up our stage and how to sustain a very high elevated stage. So I'll suggest that you make your groups in your own centers, effort-making groups, so that we can all maintain at all times an elevated stage by keeping the company of Baba with us. We keep Sathi with us. Apne Sathi ko keep the companion with you. You will always attain a detached observer stage, and you will be free from waste thoughts, and you will always have elevated thoughts. So let this group be a group of those elevated souls who always enjoy elevated thoughts and enjoy the company of the Father. Om Shanti.